Mikey, my man.
I thought I'd drop in and just saw one of your many uh, things that you do on LinkedIn.
Oh,
How you
sorry. Do I do anything? I don't know. Think I have dementia.
been? Well, I'm sure it's working for you. You certainly have been out there as a builder doing your thing.
Long time. Um, yeah, I was just telling my staff, he's saying, don't forget to join the meeting. I said, I'm in every single one of the meetings. So it's a matter of breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. So I told him, is that what you're asking me to do? How you been?
All right. When COVID hit, I stepped down from running that alliance as being, you know, kind of a right-hand person for the guy. And I took the first shot of COVID and I was out of commission for almost 2 years. And it took someone talking me into taking ivermectin, and that cleared up the chest problems I had. But I
Really?
never even considered it. You know, I took the first shot. My wife at the time was trying to get me to take the booster, and I was sure that would kill me. So I said, yeah, I guess my life insurance is worth more than me, you know.
How far do you and I go back? Any?
Probably 2010, maybe.
Oh my God.
It could be. I got involved with the alliances in 2013,
Right.
and that I was there for 8 years doing that. Dropped into a couple of your meetings at times, but you get too many plates spinning in the air. You have to make some decisions. But yeah, I've been watching you in the same. We're kind of in the same genre because we do believe in referral management systems, and you certainly have been working on one. Enveloping it into my city. And I remember the beginning was a little bit rough as far as the software goes, but you've made improvements over the years for sure.
Oh, you wait, just wait. Just wait. We're going to make some massive changes in the near term. Near term. So I'm working with an old friend of mine to go to a whole new level where we're going to incorporate AI into the whole process as well.
Well, that's good. That's a good thing for sure.
Yeah, are you doing much with AI?
Yeah, yeah, I'm doing a few things with it. Yeah, for sure. I haven't built an app. I've been looking at several platforms of that of doing that, but I've got a good business referral card system that I've been built off a license that I got from some developers in India a year or two ago, and I figured out how to code some of the sections, take the text box and actually drop code into it. So it's not the average Joe. So the whole idea was basically how do you introduce your own inner circle on a business card? And
Yeah,
I figured out a way to do that.
fantastic. David, are you there, David?
Stroop, David Stroop.
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry about that, guys. I was on mute.
My wife likes to do that to me all the time.
uh, but if you're like me, there's little chance of that succeeding long term.
Yeah, yeah. Well, my favorite, my do you have a camera so we can see it too?
I do this from my desktop, man, and my computer in my office does not have any of that. Sorry.
Oh, gotcha, gotcha. Okay, so um there's a couple sayings that I have. I always turn to my wife and I say, please let me know when I've done something right. Figure that gets a laugh. And then the other one is, I think I have dementia, I just don't remember.
I figured out how to win half the arguments by shutting my mouth.
Yeah. How long you
Say
been
your
married?
piece, and uh, I've been separated 10 years. We haven't lived together in 10 years.
Oh, gotcha, gotcha. David, how
And
about you?
then she tried to pressure me into taking the COVID shot. And I did it because she wouldn't come over from England. She lives in England. And she would come over every year, and I would take her all over the place, almost
Yeah.
like a honeymoon once a year where I've got a month with her. but it just became more being put into the friend zone, and I just got tired of that. And then after pushing me into the second, the booster, her not realizing, holding that over my head, I'm not going to come see you unless, well, I knew my health was on the line. So,
Yeah, we've all lived through crazy times, haven't we?
yep, yeah.
Totally.
And more to come, I'm sure.
It's never dull, that's for sure.
Yeah. Well, Mike and I know each other. What did we say about?
It could go back as far as 2010, 20,
Yeah,
somewhere in
Wow.
there.
15 years.
Yeah, off and on.
Yep, yep.
Attended a few things, seen you live in Scottsdale at a few meetings when you were out there.
Yeah, no, this is all entertaining stuff, you know. Learning how to well look, nothing. David, how old are you, if you don't mind me
I'm
asking?
I'm approaching 49. I'll be 49 next week.
Gotcha. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Halfway to 100 almost.
There you go. That's one way of looking at it. Well, you can see by Mike and myself, I don't dye my beard gray. It's natural.
That's the way it should be. It's the way it should be.
So, by the way, I'm 76,
Okay.
and uh, you know, my wife and I have been together for 41 years,
Oh,
That's great.
congratulations.
Yeah,
and
that's great.
I tell everybody we've gone to marriage counseling for 46. That's not true.
I'm married. It'll be 20 years in April that I've been married. So
Congratulations.
thank you. She puts
Uh,
up with a lot.
I tell everybody, by the way, my wife and I are best buddies. We're
Yeah.
best buddies, you know. We've got two kids, grown kids. We've got a 33-year-old and 36-year-old. My daughter's 36. She's got a doctorate in psychology. So she's the
Yeah.
brain, right? And my son is going back to get his doctorate in anesthesiology. He lives in Arizona,
Super.
and they're very smart kids. I never knew that I could raise smart kids. I thought they would be like me.
Well, my wife is also my best friend. I actually met her when I transferred to my company's office in Florida many years ago. So we worked together. We still work together. And I have many contemporaries that are like, well, how does that work for you? You know, I could never work with my wife. And I said, well, I'm one of the lucky ones. I'm happy to work with my wife. I enjoy it. And I think we work in different areas, so we're not on top of each other, literally or figuratively, during the day. So it works out pretty well for us.
Great. David, where do you live?
I live in Phoenix. I'm in Levine, so I'm within the city of Phoenix, and my office is in Tempe.
You got a little bit of a drive there.
That's the 202 has made life a lot easier for us citizens in that part of the city.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, 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 yeah. That was
Anytime
a big
somebody
change.
brings it up, man, with no hyperbole, it literally changed our lives. Not having to drive down Baseline or up to the 10 off 51st Avenue to get anywhere, anywhere.
Yeah.
It changed everything. So I was downtown for many years. My office was downtown, but as soon as the 202 opened up, I looked for more reasonable office space out here on the Tempe side because it was so much easier to get to. Once they open up that highway.
Is this your own company?
It's not mine. I've been with the company for 25 years. I am a stakeholder, but I'm an executive at the organization. Yeah.
What do you do?
Sorry, I probably should have answered that. We're a title company, so we're title and escrow, real estate information services.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah, my wife married uh he's works for Granite Escrow.
Yeah,
And I don't know, is Granite in Phoenix
they're
or
not.
They're
They're
not?
not, but I'm familiar. We're a national company, so I'm familiar with a lot of the organizations out there in other states as well.
Yeah, he's got and he's a notary. So he does really famous actors
Yeah,
uh and actresses notaries like Tom Hanks,
yeah,
you know?
cool.
Yeah, he's South African, nicest guy in the world. Have you ever met a South African you didn't like?
Not that I'm aware of. No.
Me either. They're always wonderful, wonderful people. And they met during COVID. Hello there, Michelle. Can you hear us? Latifa? Hello. Michelle can't hear you. Michelle.
Sorry about that.
Oh, there
My
you go.
speaker was off. My speaker
Oh,
was off.
my wife
So,
tries to do that to me all day long.
so sorry about that. Sorry about being late. I didn't mean to do that.
No, no problem, no problem. You know, it's funny. We all, as I say, we all weave ourselves through our lives, right? So we
Hmm.
always have, I mean, some of us have really good stories to tell. And I'll blurt mine out. 1994, we lost everything in the earthquake here in Los Angeles,
Wow.
Oh God.
and we had two kids. They were 2 and 5 years old, and she had to hand. We lived in a tri-level home, and my wife had to hand the children down to me. Thank God she had come home from a business trip, and I ran the kids outside and put them in the van with our housekeeper. And then we went around kicking in doors and pulling people out of their homes. We were written up as quake heroes in the LA Times.
Wow.
Wow. Oh my
You know,
goodness.
it's not like I designed that.
No. Yeah, I
Yeah,
do not.
So, and we all have interesting stories, right?
Yes.
I
And
agree.
and what we tend to do is not talk about them. We don't talk about ourselves as much as we should. And I just did a lot of talking, so somebody else chime in. Um, Mike, you wanna tell us who you are and what you do?
Mike Christensen. I'm in Scottsdale, Arizona. Uh, I've been doing some crowdfunding for some clients, different things. It started with I told my mentor, Summers White, hey, I've known him for 12 years. He's been a mentor for me. And I told him a story about I got a call from a lawyer, and he was on the council or whatever you call it, advisory. I don't think he was a director, but he pointed out this company that was raising money on Start Engine, and I went and looked at it. He asked me to look and see what I thought, and they had raised 200,000, but they'd gone dead for about 10 days. Money just kind of stopped, but they did raise a couple 100,000. So he came back to me and asked me what I might do, and I said, "Well, I'll get you in front of a bigger audience." I just figured he tapped out. They had tapped out the audience they were in front of, and within 2 weeks, I was able to raise them 1 million, and then
Wow.
within the month or two after that, they raised like another couple of million. But I only take credit for that first million. I told Summers about it, and he said, "Michael, you don't have it unless you have it in writing." And I didn't listen to him for the longest time. He's my mentor, but I just didn't see, getting a letter. That seemed old school to me, kind of thing. Just talk about it. But no, 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 no. He talked me into getting a letter. And so I wrote him and said, would you mind writing something? They sent something back on their stationery, their business logo and everything, their phone number. The person signing it was one of the directors. And they just thanked me for raising 1 million within a fortnight. And that was a very kind thing for them to do, and that led to getting some other clients. kind of thing. So he was right. He made quite a bit of money just from the standpoint of getting that first, testimonial letter, if you want to call it. But it was a real deal. You could actually call the company and find out that, not blowing any smoke on that. But I do have to tell people I'm working with that, I do a flat fee that covers a lot of the content and things that are evergreen that'll last far longer than your campaign will. But I'll be doing press releases and putting you on podcasts as well to get you something going. And you know, uh, I made a success fee out of it. Anything over $60,000, I get 2%, and then I charge us a flat amount for the media and everything that I do in the beginning. So that,
Fantastic.
that seems to work for people because if it doesn't work, it's not going to work for everyone, And I want to couch it in a way. Yes, I've been successful, so I do know what I'm doing, but there's a million variables involved. So
Got it.
that's
Do
how
us
I handle
all a
that.
favor, everybody. Put your information into the chat room so people can contact you, know who they are. We typically send out uh, a recording of this meeting to everybody. So make sure you include your contact information, a phone number. Let us know if it's a mobile line or a landline, whatever. And then put an email address. And I think probably everybody here knows me through LinkedIn. So I'm under Karen, Caryn, and Bob Friedenthal. The last name spelled Friedenthal. And I too will include information in the chat room. All right, let's go to David. David, talk to us.
Get you unmuted. Hi there, David Stroop. I'm with MIS. We're a title and escrow agency here. I'm located in Tempe, but we are state and nationwide. It's my first time with the group. I have actually been connected with you guys for a few years, I think, and so shame on me for not participating before. I am our chief marketing officer. Like I said, we're a national agency. We're looking to expand our relationships both locally and nationally. I've been with the organization for 25 years, worked with realtors, mortgage lenders, homeowners, buyers, and sellers individually to offer title, escrow, and notary services. I've held many positions with the organization. Everything from I started out as a temp typing title commitments back in 1999 in our office in Charlotte. Worked my way up to become an executive and in our sales division over the course of the last 10 years. So happy to be a part of the group and hear what everybody has to say. And I'll be happy to put my information in the chat box for reference as well.
Yeah, I'm noticing that. Thank you. Appreciate that. I'm noticing that a number of people are not here today. What's
Yeah.
accounting for that? God knows. Maybe it's the weather. I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows? David, thank you. And you
Yeah.
put your information to the chat, right?
I'm going to. Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Good man. Good man. All right, Michelle, talk to us.
Hi, everyone. It's my first time here. Sorry that I was running late, so I didn't get to hear the very beginning. But so I am working with a company called Simultrade. It's an app that is actually going to be revolutionizing the way trade is done around the world. We launch next week, and basically what it does is it's meant to address like economic scarcity globally, meaning, getting food and supplies and medicines to countries that normally cannot get them because their ports are too tiny. So I'm working with a team of individuals that I I feel like every day I feel so blessed that I'm working with them because their goal is to affect people around the planet. As far as getting food and supplies to people around the globe. With and this is a $19 trillion market where normally those supplies rot or die because they never get sent out. But what's really cool is with our app, we're going to be when we launch next week, we're going to be bringing on arbitrage traders. And you mentioned, and I can't say your name. It's like I'm too. Is your name Mike, the host of this?
Oh, they didn't change it. Sorry.
That's
It's
okay.
Bob.
It's Bob. Oh, my husband's name. Okay. Nice to meet you, Bob.
Good. We
Uh,
can remember each other.
yeah, exactly. So one of the things that really excites me about this is that we can bring workers onto our app, and all they need is a smartphone, a tablet, and internet, and they can have a job where they're freelancers working whatever hours they want, wherever they want, and they can make approximately $3,000 per transaction. The reason I bring this up and the reason it's so close to my heart is I know a lot of people that are looking for jobs. And now, with what's happened in California, Bob, I mean, how many people are looking for work? They've lost everything, or people around the country have lost their livelihood due to flooding or fires or tornadoes or hurricanes. And once we launch, they'll be able to find out about this and be able to literally log into the system, just paying $45 a month, and to be able to access jobs. So I believe it will lift people up and be able to move them forward. It may not be their dream job. Everybody's got their passions, but at least it can get them income to move them forward. So there you
Nice.
go.
Good stuff. Thank you. That's make sure you put your information into the chat room if you haven't
Yes.
already.
I did. You guys, I put my email address, but it's simultrade.com. So it's just the end of my email. And you can reach out to me if you have any questions. Oh, and we are raising capital. And Mike, I'm going to want to talk to you about crowdfunding. We are raising capital and we will be going
Okay,
public at the end of the year. There we go.
can
Fantastic.
do that.
Okay, Joshua, talk to us.
How's it going, everybody?
Fantastic.
Thanks for having me. So my name is Joshua Preston. I work as a private banker at the JP Morgan Private Bank. So I advise high net worth individuals, executives, and others on a variety of topics. I provide a strategic investment advice, ranging from kind of what you might expect from a standard financial advisor to also more complex investments like alternative investments, private credit, hedge funds. I advise companies that are taking their company public. I work with a variety of different funds, so I'm kind of a jack of all trades. But at the end of the day, I provide investment and financial advice. Um, I do a lot of different stuff. I'm really into international relations, so I do that. Um, this is entirely unrelated, um, but I'm also currently taking on the Securities and Exchange Commission in federal court, fighting for employee rights. So that's something
Oh,
that's
wow.
pretty interesting as well. So didn't expect to be doing that. But basically, I'm challenging a federal government rule that has been used to shut down employees' small businesses. So I'm a jack of all trades. I do a lot of stuff, and looking forward to the conversation here today.
And you put your information into the chat room already, right?
Yes, yes,
Good
I
man.
did.
Good man.
So, and anyone can add me on LinkedIn too.
Fantastic. Well, yeah, you and I, that's how we met through LinkedIn. So
Yes, sir.
good to have you here. Elise, talk to us. Mr. Tambuzzi. There you go.
Hey, how are you doing today?
Great. How about you?
Doing well. Hold on, give me 1 second. Let me just
Maybe Halesi is the guy I need to know, but
I was just thinking about that. I was just thinking about that, Josh, as well, because when you mentioned that taking on federal court, I was wondering. I was like, hey, what is the tool that the federal government is using to take down small businesses? So
yeah,
I would definitely be interested in hearing more about that.
totally.
So you and I will have to, if nothing, just chat about that.
Yeah, I'll hit you up.
It's interesting stuff, isn't it? There you go. Oh, and you got the Bay Bridge behind you, right? San Francisco
So
Bay Bridge?
yeah,
Uh,
I believe so. It's just some backdrop that I had on
yeah.
the Zoom.
Lisa, where are you out of?
I am out of Tucson, Arizona.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, I'm out of Tucson, Arizona, and so I think someone else said they were in Tempe, Arizona. So not too far away, about an hour and a half away. So yeah, my name's Halisi Tambuzi. I do a workplace investigators. That's my business, and so I provide employment audits, helping businesses get in line with the employment laws, get their compliance in line with the employment laws. I've done handbook customization for nearly a decade at this point, and so what I found was that while helping businesses, they would come with they would come with one employment question, and and then realize they couldn't, for example, do the termination or restrict the leave of absence because they didn't have previous things in place. And so what I've been doing is giving employers a report so that they can understand how they have been conducting their HR processes. And a lot of issues that come up are misclassifications. So they'll hire people on, label them as independent contractors, but really they should be labeled as employees. And so they get into situations where there are unpaid wages that stack up because uh, they have been tracking wages, they have been tracking overtime, they haven't been tracking sick time, and so they find themselves in situations where now they have a stack of unpaid wages that they have to pay. And they went into it with good you know good uh, good reasons
Intentions.
as far as trying to
Yeah.
just get help for their products and services, but they ultimately ended up classifying those workers incorrectly. So
Mm.
providing employers with employment audits, just so they know where they stand, and so that they can take steps to get their HR processes in order. I also provide workplace investigations, and so I would focus on a lot of times there's conflicts of interest, Title VII situations where there's protected categories that are involved, and so I'll come in and do a third party investigator, and
Interesting work.
so that is mine. I put my contact information in the chat, so that you all have that, and willing to connect on LinkedIn. You're
Is
on
there a
mute, Rob.
size? Oh,
Question for all of you. Anybody here want to make more money?
Of course.
Okay,
Sure.
good. Just thought I'd ask. You know, if I ask 100 people, I usually get about 100% response.
Hmm.
Everybody wants to make more money, and especially at the beginning of a year. We're still in the early stage of this year. So
Yeah.
people are trying to close off their year last year, right? And
Mhm.
then come January, everybody starts running like crazy to figure out how to make more money. And I've been doing, I've been doing, uh, well, let me put it to you this way. I was a director of accounting for a publicly traded company. Anybody hear of a company called Max Factor?
Yep.
oh, sure. Yeah.
Okay. So I was a director of accounting for Max Factor back in the 70s. And I was hired, Norton Simon had acquired them. And I was hired to go in and clean up all the frauds that were going on. So I went from department to department. To give you an idea, the first department that I tackled was the accounts payable department. They had had a $280,000 fraud in the accounts payable department in 1975, 74, something like that. And and it I fell in love with what I was doing, I decided to computerize departments. So everybody's sitting down, right? That's when a 250 to 300 megabyte hard drive was the size of a washing machine
Mm.
and 40 to $50,000. Okay. So uh that first fraud I figured went from 250,000, 280,000 is now worth about a million eight. Does that
Wow.
make sense?
Yeah.
So that, cost of money, that's where everything's gone. And so I fell in love with computers and I opened my own computer company. And I couldn't do anything wrong back in those days. I hired a, I owned over 1,000 websites. This is prior to pay per click. And so
Wow.
I hired a team of programmers to create all these cookie cutter websites. And so that's where they created 1,000 different domains for me. And it was prior to SEO and all that good stuff. So I just couldn't do anything wrong. And it exploded, exploded. That's the world today. Guess what's happening now? Everything's exploding, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I don't know how, I mean, there's a couple, there's one young person here. Joshua, you're the youngest here, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe anyone younger than 29? We'll see.
No, my kids are older than you. Are you truly 29?
Yeah, yeah, I'm 29.
My
I
God.
turned 30 in July.
Oh, congratulations. Go celebrate.
Oh yeah, I need to.
Yeah, there you go. And you live again where?
In Chandler,
Oh,
Arizona.
Chandler.
Yeah.
My my family grew up, my kids grew up in West Los Angeles. But I had a friend that was out of Chandler and he became best friends with my son,
Hmm.
and that's why my son moved to Scottsdale to be closer to this gentleman.
Mm.
Wow.
And so, listen, we all move different directions in our lives, right? You did anybody grow up in the city that you're in now?
No.
No.
I'm from Northwest Indiana and then went to Chicago and then to Scottsdale. So,
I love it. I love it. I love it. Elise, where did you grow up?
I'm from the Phoenix area, Phoenix Mesa, Scottsdale, but
Oh,
I'm in
wow.
Tucson now.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Mike, you?
Well, Tucson and Scottsdale are two different countries, aren't they?
yes, they are.
Just having a little fun with you. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
pretty
grew up
much.
in
Uh,
San Diego. So I'm a California until but I've been out here 34 years in
Wow.
Arizona. So I
Wow.
would say if you can get past 2 summers in Arizona, then you'll probably stay. But it does take 2 summers to
I love it. I love it. I grew up in the Bay Area, San Francisco Bay Area. So
oh
hot weather was not my forte, you know? Um, oh my God, it'd get cold up there. My brother
yeah.
still lives up there in the Bay Area.
mm,
But we all meander around. So I went through the service, went to move to Los Angeles, and that's where I ultimately met my wife.
mm,
And so we all traverse through our lives, right?
yeah.
Yep.
So wait, okay, so who here is in the same state or same city that you grew up in?
Not
In
me.
the same state.
At least
Okay.
he might be the only one.
Okay. By the way, normally I have the head of my social media record these meetings, but I came up with this brainchild. I love, you know, I always look at your mind as a muscle. And if you don't exercise it, it'll atrophy like the rest of your muscles do, right?
Hmm. Yep.
So I've always had this thing about staying active, keeping the mind going. So this is not my first company. I've had several companies in the process, and I don't want to retire. I have no desire to retire. Do I maybe want to slow down a little bit? Yeah, I got a little late today, but my wife's in she's off the coast of off the East Coast with a friend, and they're having a good time. I hope they're drinking lots of tequila and stuff. But and then, to me, laughter is the best thing that you could do for yourself. Isn't that right?
I can,
100%.
yes,
Do
absolutely.
anything better than that, right? So when we lost our house in the earthquake here in Los Angeles, um, we had 2 and 5-year-old kids. We knew we had to instill laughter in our kids, and we've been doing that ever since. And you know what? They turned out to be good kids in spite of my wife and I. So, what do you think of this meeting? Let me just come straight out. What do you think of this meeting? Do you think this will help you to grow your business, to inspire you? I call it a referral networking group.
Yeah, I mean, I'll start if you don't mind, Bob. I mean, look, for me, we're B2B, right? But for me individually, it's always good to meet new people, chat with them, hear about ideas. It's a little bit tougher in these one-on-ones. I've done BNIs in the past and what have you, and there's just only so much value in it for us. But for me personally, it's about meeting new people and getting ideas from other individuals about how to improve myself and my business. So there's the value in it for me.
100%. I am so on your page. I'm sure everybody else is the same, right?
Yeah, you have
Definitely.
to build the relationships. You
You
definitely
bet.
have to build the relationships because it's not the person in front of you. There's a 3% chance maybe that they're actually within the scope of maybe purchasing something from you, doing business with you.
Hmm.
But it's the people they know. And
Yeah.
if Michelle, for instance, gets to know me and trust me and see that I'm a real deal, and you build that relationship, and you want to do it over a reasonable amount of time, there's a lot of wasted time in these things. I think that's the biggest frustration of getting to know and trust, and then actually getting to collaborate and get somewhere. A year can go by, years can go by, as Bob and I know, but it these things happen. But yeah, it's not the person in front of you; it's who they know.
I actually really like this. I I have been networking for a very long time, and I, I I actually, when I moved to Scottsdale from Chicago, got involved in all the chambers, and next thing I knew, I was heading up a networking group, and then I was the state director, and I was loving that. I had a merchant services company. But what I find so interesting is that over the last 30, 35 years, as I'm collecting people, I you never know like how someone's going to come into your life and when they're going to re-enter your life and the bridges that they're going to create leading to something else. I mean, you never know. It is so amazing how you can meet someone and next thing you know, uh, they're going into business with you, or they have someone that needs to work with you, or you're introducing someone to them and it changes their life. I I firmly believe there are no accidents, and this group is really lovely. So you guys all come across really warm and sincere, and I like this. So I actually like it better than networking in person.
Oh,
So
yes. Oh, yes. Changed my life. I don't know about the rest of you, but
yeah,
yeah, I used to run face-to-face networking groups,
me too.
and I even used to fly. I used to meet like once a month with some of these groups, and I
Hmm.
would fly to different cities to have a meeting with the groups. When COVID hit and Zoom took off, it all changed our lives, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could do stuff so much more productively. Everybody feel
Yeah.
the same way? I'd love give us a
Yeah.
thumbs up or say yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, and it's great because this way you can have one, you can do your spiel, whatever, talk about whatever, and everyone can hear it. Whereas if you go, in person, you're having one conversation and then you got to repeat it. And I no, this is just really fantastic. So,
You know what? I've got to tell the head of my social media, I told him not to attend because he's working on a special project for me. And I'm just going to tell him right now, Mehedi, please join the meeting that's going on right now. So normally what he does is he records the meeting. I figured, you know what? I can record the meeting and oh, he's going to join in any second here. He's he's out of Bangladesh.
ah,
So I'm going to have him join the meeting. Then I'm going to have him copy the chat room so we can get all your information in there. And I'll send him a recording of the meeting because he hasn't been recording it. But this is look, I think the best thing that ever happened. I don't want to put it this way, but best thing that ever happened to most of us is COVID. Why? Because we changed how we work. If
yeah.
nothing else, here he comes. So, you know, it's kind of strange how we get here. And there's several people. This is tax season, so there's several people that have not joined the meeting today because of what they're working on right now. But there's a lot of people that are busier than one-armed paper hangers, as I always talk about it, um, because of because of we're in the midst of tax season, right?
Yeah.
So let me get him approved. There he is. Mehedi, unmute yourself.
Yes, boss.
Say hi to everybody.
Hi, everybody.
I'm a
Hello.
Hetty.
So I'm going to record the meeting and I'll send it over to you and then you can send it out. You can get the information in the chat room
Okay.
and everyone here in this meeting is a LinkedIn connection to me.
Yes.
Okay. Also, do me a favor. Now, tomorrow I have an 8 o'clock meeting that's basically out of Los Angeles. Uh, I've been running that meeting for 8, 9 years now at this point, and we consistently have about 30 people show up at that meeting. Okay, very powerful group. And we call ourselves a networking/referral group. That's the whole purpose of it. And I own a website called mycity.com, and there's a referral software in there, but right now it's broken. And I'll have my programmer look at it as soon as he can so we can get that fixed. But look, how show me your hands. They say that 60% of most people get their new business based on a referral. How many are you like that? One,
I get a lot of business on referral.
okay. Joshua? Okay, well,
Not
you'll
Yeah.
really.
Yeah.
I don't get
Mine's
any business on referral.
and
okay.
I'm the same as Joshua. I'm probably less than 15% referral based. It's all
Is it
generated
all
networking wise. Yeah.
is it all based on AI?
No, it's generated networking in person, the different things. It's not necessarily referrals from others coming to me.
Okay, how about you, Joshua?
Yeah, I mean, all my clients are related to some internal process. I mean, I'm sure there is a referral process the client goes through, but it's not me soliciting referrals. They get in. It's more like we have people in a sales capacity, and then I'm the person who's introduced as the partner to advise them on the complex advice. So I am trying to earn their business, and I am judged on that, but I'm not a cold prospector in a sense. There are people who do the same job that I do that also do cold prospecting. It can work either way.
Got it.
So
Got it. Lisa, how about you? Where do you get most of your business from? You're on mute.
Oh, yeah, mine's referral.
Based on referral?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. It's
Yeah.
cutting in and out a little bit, but yeah, hear you definitely. Definitely. This is all good stuff. Would you come back to this meeting? Each and every one of you? Why don't you answer
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
it? Okay. Michelle?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Joshua?
yeah, I'd be happy to come back. I mean,
Okay.
the only thing I would say is, I'm not is each meeting kind of just like an intro where we all just kind of introduce ourselves, or do some have like a topic? Because I know sometimes some events have a topic or purpose, and sometimes it's nice just to have something like this where we're collaborating, or
Well,
open open style. Uh,
you're spot on, dude. You're spot on because like I'm gonna, if it's okay, I'm gonna have Mehedi invite all of you to the 8 o'clock meeting LA time on Zoom tomorrow. Would you attend?
Yeah, throw it to me. I'm open at that time.
Okay. Mike?
I
Is that 8 o'clock Pacific or
Yeah, Pacific.
okay? Yeah, I think I can do that.
Okay.
It's a Friday, right? Tomorrow's Friday.
Yep. All day.
All day.
Yeah, they changed it. Michelle, how about you?
I would love to. I have already a previous commitment. I My company is launching in a couple of days.
Oh, right.
I'm the chief investment revenue officer for the company. So it's like I go right from that right into my investor meetings. So I don't have any availability in the morning.
What about next week?
What day?
Friday, Friday, 8 a.m. LA time.
8 a.m. is the time. So we have people in Oregon. They set the meeting for 8 a.m. Pacific time, which is 9 a.m. my time. So that's my whole team meeting. So I can't do it on Friday mornings.
Okay. Okay. We'll send you the invite, and if something
Yeah.
changes, then we use the same link every single week to that
Okay.
meeting. Mehedi, please send, all these are LinkedIn connections for me, so you could send the invite, Mehedi, you there?
Okay, okay. Can you please share your contact information? Then I can mail the tomorrow meeting ID and password or meeting link.
She's on in my, everyone here is a LinkedIn connection to me. So you can send the invite to these people based on their names, you'll find them.
Okay, 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 boss.
Okay,
So I just want to clarify something. So this week and next week, because we're launching next week,
I get it.
is just really critical. But after that, I'll have more flexibility. I can always miss a meeting. I just can't tomorrow or next week.
I understand. I think if we
It's
don't
been,
all understand, you shouldn't be in this meeting in the first
yeah,
place.
yeah. This is 10 years in the works, and the guys have been working on this importing and exporting since 2008. They did it from 2008 to 2013, traveling the world. And then they did this for themselves in 2014 and realized they had something for the world when they launched it themselves in 2019 and they realized, oh my gosh. So yeah, I actually feel like in the meetings like I'm part of NASA or Amazon. I know you guys, it sounds like I'm being uh like I'm trying to make it grandiose. It's just that it's so incredible what
Totally.
they're doing. So uh
Well, it
I'm just
sounds like logistics, Michelle. It sounds like logistics has a lot to do with what you're doing.
yeah, well, I mean, it's bringing the importer and the exporter together from
Yeah,
anywhere in the world. We're
yeah.
literally picking the low-hanging fruit and creating these jobs, including doing the insurance wraps and the logistics. So when it becomes a job, our workers sign into the website and they pick up a job and it's 90 to 95% done. So yeah,
Cool.
when you talk about, having an olive grower in Spain that has a surplus that nobody knows about, and our guys connected to our government, uh, know how to do this stuff, and they're then going to sell it to someone in Brazil, and they find those people. Yeah, it's really quite amazing.
Yeah,
So
that is a hat trick
Good stuff.
for sure.
it
Um,
is.
Lisa, you were in the meeting, the Friday meeting last week, right?
I was, yes.
Okay. There's a gentleman in there named Phil Wolfstein who was an importer exporter for years and years, and now he's a business broker. And I think this might be somebody for you to talk to, Michelle. So, Hetty, send the contact information of Phil Wolfstein to Michelle, if you will.
Thank you.
Great guy, too, by the way. And I have a cute little, not cute, it's a great story about when I first met Phil. Um, he wanted me to make connections. This goes back 10 years ago, 9 years ago with this guy, Phil. And so we stayed at it, doing the same thing month after month after month. And he believed in what I was doing. He gets a, he had two partners that had a machine shop, and he gets a Phil gets a call. I connected them on LinkedIn. Phil gets a call from this guy in the machine shop saying, "Can we meet tomorrow?" It was a Friday. He said, "Sure." I met him on a Saturday, signed the deal with him. It took a little while to convince both of them, but the two partners got into an argument.
Yeah.
And so before that, or after we were working on his account, and the guy said, come meet me at my office. And so Phil drove over to his office out of LA. And 7 months later, they signed a deal and he made a ton of money. So I think what I'm trying to say is don't give up on your connections on LinkedIn. It's
Oh
still,
no.
I don't know if you guys know this, but Microsoft bought them uh, a number of years ago, like 15 years ago, something like that, for $26 billion. dollars. I just looked last week at the valuation of LinkedIn, and I think it was 36 billion, something like that. So, was it a good investment for Microsoft? You bet. Great investment. So, where you start and where you finish are two different things, right? And like I said, I can't turn this off. I try, but it just doesn't shut down on me. It might short one of these days, but anyway, we're any finishing thoughts by anybody?
I wanted to say something. You were mentioning LinkedIn. I, as it stands right now, from what I've learned from some of the marketing people that I've worked with is LinkedIn is only being used by people, like 10% of the people. It's actually probably less than that. So anybody that's doing marketing on there right now, you're at the forefront and you're getting exposure that others are not utilizing. They should be utilizing it. So it's been an incredible place for me to market, to work, and that is where I do a lot of my business. So
Excellent, excellent. Well, I'm a LinkedIn consultant, and what I do is
yeah, you know.
I manage people's LinkedIn accounts. I
Yeah.
have I have a staff of people that work underneath Mahedi, and
Ah.
so what we do is we do two basic things. One is we grow people's connection based on who they want to meet, based on the vocation that they're looking for. Okay. Number two is we message them for our clients. And right now, I had Mahedi working on a project of mine of, okay, after you've messaged them, what's the next message? Because
Yeah.
if you're not following up and staying in front of people, huge mistake.
Yep. I
Yeah.
agree.
AI changed that world significantly, but what was missing initially was the data. And that's where I've always been integrating both data
Hmm.
and communicating. You've got to stay in front of people. Otherwise, they'll forget you. And as I always say, when somebody finally has a need, if they don't remember you, they'll go to the first person they do remember.
Hmm.
Isn't that what happens?
Yep.
It's
What
top of
happened?
mind marketing,
Top of mind market.
101.
Yeah.
Yeah, 101. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Marketing 101. I love it. And Mike, you and I go back, how many years did we say? 15 years?
Yeah, about 15, yeah.
I haven't talked to you in 14. I don't know.
No,
It's been a while.
maybe 10, maybe 10. I
Okay,
don't know.
10.
It's been a while. We just been traveling different circles and you can only put so many plates spinning in the air. So,
Man, you hit the nail on the head with that one. So,
yeah,
all right,
focus is what you got to do.
we got 7 minutes left. Anybody have any pearls of wisdom to give to other people?
Don't give up on your dreams.
Love it. Love it. Love it.
About
Lisa, any
other
ideas?
people.
I would say it is keeping an open mind when you talk to people because every single time you meet someone, you never know, uh, what you're going to learn. It's kind of like a book. I was talking to my mom about this. We went to Barnes and Noble and she's like, "Oh, I don't need this book. I've got another book like it at home." And I said, every time you read a book, there's just one little thing that you might get out of it that might change your life. And I see that with people. I mean, you just never know that one little thing may not change your life, but it can make, add a spice to life. So, you know, everybody's got something to share and to teach.
That's beautiful statement. Beautiful statements. David, any thoughts?
Hey man, keep an open mind. I mean, that's one of those things where it's easy to get caught in routine and complacent's the wrong word, but a level of complacency. So keep an open mind and really get out there. Don't be afraid to expose yourself in the appropriate ways to meet new people and expand your horizons, as they say. So there you
Yep.
go.
Look what happened to Chat GPT.
Yeah.
It exploded on the company's still losing money, by the way. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think. There's 180 million people on Chat GPT.
Yeah.
It's a big number. Big number.
AI is changing everything. I mean, our company, we couldn't do what we're doing without AI. And then
Yeah.
right behind it, we're bringing in quantum. quantum technologies, we couldn't do these things. It's not even physically possible to do it without AI. Yeah, it's going to be amazing what's going to be happening within the next couple of years. I think
Yeah.
people are going to be shocked.
Oh, I think everybody here totally agrees. I think we all totally agree to that. And where we've come from too. I'm probably the oldest person in this group. I'm going to be 76 in March. Okay, but you can't tell.
I wouldn't have put you at 76.
Pardon me?
I said I would not have put you at 76.
Well, I'm never going to grow
Anything
up.
remotely
That's
close.
that's the real answer. Yeah, I mean, why grow up, right? When
Exactly.
you turn this off, that's when you say I'm done.
Yeah, absolutely true.
Like I said, I think I have dementia. I just don't remember. All right, gang. I don't think we need to belabor what I've already
I'm
reviewed.
laughing. You tell jokes like my dad, so pretty good.
I need to talk to your dad.
Yeah.
uh, you'll never not get a smile out of me.
I got a
Right?
quote.
Pardon me?
I have a quote.
Beautiful. Say it.
It's simple. It's live to love and love to laugh.
Oh, that's good.
That's great.
Awesome.
Everything will fit into that.
That is so great. I love that. I love
Yeah.
it. In fact, Mike, you and I we need to get on the phone with each other. I,
Yeah,
I
like
think
that.
we've got a world of opportunity in front of us. Each one of us has a world of
Yeah,
opportunity. It's how you create relationships. We'll end with this. It's how you create relationships and help the other person. You know, BNI's motto is who someone was here was in BNI?
I participated in a BNI a couple of different events. If you're asking me their motto, that's how poor of an experience it was. I have no idea.
Givers gain.
There you go.
Yeah, so the psychologist for Dr. Ivan Meisner, who started BNI, well, around 40 years ago, I the psychologist was my client. I figured at one point, okay, we're all sitting down, right? That BNI was making Eisner, Ivan Meisner, I'm sorry, about $10 million a month, a month.
Mm.
So, yeah, yeah, and I've followed that motto. I Givers gain is their motto, and I always say you got to give to get. If you're helping people and not selling, that's when you take off,
Yep.
right?
Great.
Yep.
No,
yeah.
Yeah, Bob, that's what I was going to say as my piece of wisdom was just try to add value, try to add value first.
exactly. You hit
I
the
have to
nail.
take this. I apologize. I will talk to you guys soon. Okay.
You got it.
All right.
Yeah, time's up.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Michelle.
Michelle.
All
Michelle,
right,
I'll send you a
everybody.
link.
Nice. So nice to meet.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate the call.
You got it.
Joshua, good to hear what you do for sure.
Yeah, if there's any way I can contribute to anybody, for me, unless you have someone who has 10 million or more in liquid net worth and like needs advice or something, I probably don't need referrals, but I do think I have a lot to give and certainly happy to help. I have my own SEC thing that I'm challenging. That looks pretty good actually, but I don't really need referrals for that. Maybe except maybe Halisi will be interested in that, but just in general, I think I'd be coming just to participate and to give rather than be looking for referrals for myself for the most part. But yeah, however I can help.
Yeah, no, this is all very, very helpful information. And so I'm copying the information in the chat room right now. Somehow I'm cop. Oh, here we go. So I'm copying it down and then I'll send it over to Mehedi and then we'll have all your contact information. So this was a great meeting. Great meeting. Love it. And then Joshua, I'm sure we're going to come up with some kind of pearls of wisdom and talk to each other about. How's that
Oh,
sound?
I'm sure.
I
I'm
love it.
sure.
I love it, love it, love it. All right,
All right, bud.
everybody, have a good rest of the day and stay out of trouble.